Let's talk, Chuck, about microlearning. It is something that we enjoy teaching with, doing microlearning. We've done some micro lessons here on our channel. These are short, concise lessons that folks can tune into when they want to remember something that maybe they learned, so a recall type of activity, or it's really good for just short attention spans, right? So what kind of tips can we share for folks who want to design microlearning to help teach adults who may have some short attention spans or who want to learn things, to recall things in a quick mechanism, things that they have learned in a traditional setting or maybe a longer form, but they just need some tips to help them out?
Well, it's interesting. We have to think about what microlearning actually is. So it seems to be the impression of many that this is new. It's not new. If you think about it, that's why we write objectives and why we have lots of objectives, because there are very discrete parts of learning that need to be broken into these pieces and presented that way. Instead of one big thing, we want to break things down into manageable pieces. And so if you think about objectives, you might have 10, 15 objectives for one course that's an hour long. You could also say, okay, well, there's 15 micro-learning lessons that we could put out there and offer them one at a time. You could give a sequence or not give a sequence, depending on what your design preference is. But the notion and the real thought of this is people learn in very discrete pieces, little packets of information. And this fits this perfectly. So if you're an instructional designer, this is second nature to you. You just need to think about it a little differently. If you're new to instructional design, then okay, hey, that's kind of cool. I don't need to think about putting together an entire course. If I have one topic that I want to hit really hard and do it in a package on social media, there you go. That's microlearning. So is it new? Is it useful? Oh, yeah. It's incredibly useful.
Yeah. And, I've seen it applied for like platforms like Udemy. When I look at a Udemy course, I'm taking one right now on cryptocurrency, and it's a very complicated topic for my brain, but I want to learn it because it's just something that's interesting. And the way this course is set up, and I think on Udemy's platform, most courses are set up this way. They are scaffolded in tiny packets, like you just said. They may be a video that's 2 minutes long, then 5 minutes long, maybe 7 minutes long, but they never seem to go really beyond a 10-minute type of a level. And my brain really enjoys that because look, I mean, our days are very busy, right? I can't really commit to saying, okay, I'm going to sit here for an hour every day and take an hour-long course. But what I can say is I can take 5 minutes 3 times a day and learn three different steps within this process. And then I'll feel like I accomplished a lot more. And even though those, if they're 10-minute long videos, that's a half an hour right there. And looking at a half an hour straight on, overwhelming for someone who's busy. But 10-minute segments, it really does help.
So just think about it in terms of how do people really learn? You learn in packets. You learn in pieces. And the adult attention span, you can argue about what this is, but most people say it's about 7 minutes. So anytime you go over that, and I know we've noticed on this channel that when we have hour-long videos, they don't get near the views that our shorts do. So we put out a short, we get 300 or 400 hits on it in a week. We put out an hour-long video, we're lucky to get 20. People just don't want to invest the time. And that tells us something. But it also says from a design perspective, this is where people are now in the world. People are busy. You are busy. I am busy. If I can pick up social media, learn something, just the basic points of it, and move on, then if I'm more interested, I can dig in and do different things with it. But as an adult, my attention span, 7 minutes might be stretching it. And I can't believe that that's much different for most people.
Right, exactly. Especially, I think, when we're talking about an e-learning environment, technology environment, an in-person classroom. What is your opinion on that? I mean, so when I teach in person, when I develop for in-person, when I hate to call it lecture, but when I present new information, right? I usually try to keep it in steps of 10 minutes, present something for 5 to 10 minutes, and then go apply it. Let's put this into action, kind of following Gagne's 9 events.
No, that's good design. And I think you have to not only think about how people learn, which we talk about as packets, but also how we have evolved. And you think about the generations of learning, which we've talked about in other segments on here. This is a new generation of learning. This is this whole notion of you do not have to be in the classroom. You do not have to spend a set amount of time doing something. What we're talking about is I need to know this, give it to me quick, and let me move on. And certainly that doesn't apply to every situation. We won't pretend it does. But there are many times with adults that works just fine. And we should be okay with that and not getting stuck in this old format of, okay, well, I got to sit in the seat for 3 hours, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. I don't like it as a learner, and I can assure you that most adults don't like it as a learner. So you doing that within a fixed constraint of a classroom is very smart, because you're breaking it up. You're doing micro-learning within a fixed environment, which is a good way to think about it.
Great. Thanks, Chuck, for your insights on this. And thanks all for tuning into this episode. And if you do have any questions for us, please comment, put it in the comments. We're happy to go over those comments and those questions and really dig into them. Thanks so much.